So my name is Caitlin J. Reeds. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel for the first time. Who knows when you've discovered me. My name, like I stated, is Caitlin. Today's video, I am talking all about my predictions for what I think will happen in A Memory of Light, and that is the last Wheel of Time book. Over the past year or so, okay, I've had the journey, the pleasure, the blessing to read The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and we have finally come to the closing hour, the curtain call, if you will, of the series A Memory of Light, and I am sad and depressed about it, but I figured, why not make a video with all of my predictions for what's going to happen to some characters that I've laid out, some groups that I've laid out. Alright, Wheel of Time lovers will like watching this. They'll like seeing whether, oh, she's such an idiot, haha. Or, oh, she was spot on, good one. And maybe this will prompt some people to start reading the series or finish reading it if they haven't yet. Alright, leave a like, comment down below. Who's your favorite character from the Wheel of Time? Let me know. I love the Wheel of Time. Adore the Wheel of Time. We could talk all about the Wheel of Time except for A Memory of Light, okay? Don't spoil it for me. Alright? Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, alright? And for A Memory of Light reading vlog, because we all know that that is coming. Alright, let's get right in. So, I'm unsure whether I should just read right off my notes and then kind of describe what I was thinking, alright, when I wrote it. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So, first character we have up is Rand al'Thor, Mr. Dragon Reborn himself, okay? My first note for him will continue to be sexy and annoying. If you're new to this channel, alright, if you're new to this channel, you don't know this, but I don't really like Rand or his character. The past couple of books, there's been an interesting flip-flop in the arc, but he's a little too good guy right now. Not enough brooding sexy. And that's what I miss out of Rand. My next point is, I want him dead, but there have been too many comments about ensuring his survival. Also, Brandon Sanderson hates killing off characters besides characters in Mistborn Era 1. I stand by this. I want him dead. I feel like the only natural character arc for me would be to have him dead. The Aiel say he's accepted death. So I want to see him dead at the end of the book, okay? But the amount of times men, Elaine, Avienda, I'm not going to let him die, that has me worried. Okay, that has me worried that he is not going to die, that he will survive the last battle, which I think, to me, seems a bit pointless, for the whole book series. But, maybe, we'll see. But I want him to die. Do I think he's gonna die? Unfortunately, no. Also, next note, I predict he was in Lu's head just as Lews Therin was in his. The wheel is cyclical. So just like Lews Therin is haunting Rand in his little pea brain of his, I believe that when Lews Therin, because it's always an era long gone, an era coming, or whatever, an era long past, an era, whatever, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm talking about, okay? The wheel is cyclical. Rand was in Lews Therin's head, just like Lews Therin's in Rand's, but Lews Therin wasn't strong enough to do what Rand is probably going to be able to accomplish by the end of A Memory of Light. Mark my words. I have had this theory for a couple books now. I really think I'm onto something, okay? I really, truly do. Don't even try to tell me I'm wrong, okay? Last note on Rand. Will miss his sexiness. I feel like I just envision actor Rand. Hot. Yeah. Whatever his name is, he is very good looking. Alright, let's move on. Next, we have Perrin, and I've lumped Fael in here with him, okay? First note on Perrin / Fael. Fael is going to die, no doubt. She exposes herself to danger too many times. Having her in in Savannah's camp, in the Aiel camp, for like fucking 3 books straight, she put herself in so much danger. I just have a feeling she is going to die. I want to see her dead. Okay? I want to see her dead. With the way people complain about the TV show, episode 1, ruining his character arc, if you don't know what I'm referencing him killing his wife with an axe in that very first episode. I think Perrin has something to do with it. whether he did it or could have prevented it are two different things. So I do think Perrin has something to do with Fail's death, whether there was something that he didn't do that would have led to Fail staying alive, or whether it is him having to choose between Fail and the last battle. I don't quite know yet, but I have a feeling that that's going to be included since people say blasphemy when it comes to Perrin's character in the episode 1 of Wheel of Time. So that's kind of what I think based on all of my context clues. And plus, would love to see more of him in Tel'aran'rhiod, if that's how you pronounce it, with the Slayer. I want to see a final Slayer fight, and I want to see him demolish Slayer. I want to see Perrin stay alive. I like Perrin's character. Alright? We have Matt. With Matt, I've grouped in Tuon as well, but, this talks about Matt, okay? First point, the most bad bitches. Bad bitches to the front. If you can't tell from the past couple of my wrap-up videos, I have talked about how Matt and Tuon have been the shining star of the last couple books for me. Okay, they've been the shining stars relationship-wise. I love Matt and Tuon, and I want to see them back together. So bad bitches to the front, please. He's going to convince Tuon to channel, and that the slavery of the Marath Domani is wrong. I stand by this, especially... something we will talk about later in this video is Avienda's visions of the future, and that references Tuon becoming more lenient and more open to the Aes Sedai, to the channelers of the world. So I really think Matt is going to convince Tuon to channel, and that channeling isn't bad, and that the slavery of the Marath Domani is a bad thing, okay? I just feel it in my bones. Matt is also going to blow the Horn of Valir again. So, Archer Hawkwing's army is going to come. What does this do to Brigitte? What happens to Brigitte if the army is called? Because she was taken out of Tel'aran'rhiod, however you pronounce that, by Elaine. So, what happens if Matt blows the Horn of Valir and it summons Brigitte? Is it going to summon her human form? Is it going to summon her spirit? She's starting to lose a lot of memories from her old spirit form, so are those going to come back? I don't know. I guess time will only tell when I read the fucking book. Also, his luck has to run dry eventually. When will that be? Don't know, but I think it will happen. Okay, it has to happen. Matt and Tuon reunion. Heart. Bad bitches to the front. Really want to see him influence Tuon's perspective. I want to see that character arc change for Tuon. We see that she, as flawed as she may be, she's a good person, and I think that she can come around if she's goaded a bit, and if he does it the right way. Okay? So I'm really hoping that we have a shift in Tuon, especially when it comes to her perception of the woman and man that can channel. Okay? Next I have Nynaeve listed. So she heals madness. What a queen. That's the very first one on here. So do we think that she will heal Rand? Still to be determined. She tried in Towers of Midnight and said, your head's a mess, pretty much. And she always kind of touches that side of his, the stab wounds that he has in his side, and she's always disgusted by the, darkness there. So I'm curious, is she finally going to be able to figure out a way to heal Rand, and is that going to be the key to the last battle? I don't know. Next, I want to see her travel to Lan and save his life at the Borderlands, okay? Whether that means Len is really close to death, or, is it, mortally wounded and, needs a bit of healing up. I want to see Nynaeve save him, or, even, her arrive and he's already dead. That would be kind of cool. Sorry for Nynaeve, but, I don't really like Lan, so, yeah. She also has Lan's bond now, but Moiraine is alive again. So, does that restart the bond between Lan and Moiraine? Do they have to share Lan? If so, one is bound to be killed off. Alright? Whether that's Nynaeve or Moiraine, not sure. Probably Moiraine, since we've already grieved her death. But one of them is bound to be killed off if they have to share Lan. Next, we have Iguain Al'Vir, my woman. One of my favorite characters in this series, okay? I know people call her a Mary Sue. I don't necessarily think so. I think they're ignoring her character arc. It's called character arc. Okay? Anyways, yeah, you're missing the whole point of her being with the Aiel in, these books right here. Okay? Alright? Anyways. One of my favorite characters. She will bond and bring together the White Tower. While it looks outwardly facing that this has already happened, I just have a feeling it's going to happen on a deeper level on that last book. Next point, she has already come to terms with dying for the tower, so I think she'll pull a martyr. Whether or not she will actively die, I don't know. I really hope not. I love Nynaeve's character, but I believe in the Gathering Storm before her badass show out at the end against the Shen. She came to terms with dying for the White Tower, dying for her purpose. So I just have a really good feeling that she's going to try to pull a martyr in the last book, since she's already come to terms with death. What side will she be on when Rand breaks the seals? I think she will cave and get involved. Maybe that will be the martyr moment. Maybe she will pour all her power into Rand like Nynaeve did when he cleansed the One Source, and maybe that's going to break her, and that will be her martyr moment. Whether or not, maybe she'll become stilt and have no more powers. I'd rather that than her death. Okay. But time is yet to tell. Or maybe the moment will be when she inevitably helps Rand reseal the Dark One. Maybe that will be her martyr moment in the same type of vein as the point I just referenced before. I just really think she's going to try to be a martyr. Whether or not she succeeds, yet to see that. But she's definitely going to martyr herself. Lan, we have next. He will either die or come extremely close to death. I kind of hope he dies. He's my least favorite character after Rand, but he's not as sexy as Rand. Unless you're talking about the actors, which actor is sexy, but I still think Rand is sexier. But yeah, whatever. Anyways, boring. I'm interested to see what happens to his bond with Moiraine, and that's about it that I have from Rand. From Lan. Haha. Yeah, you could tell. Don't really love those two. Moiraine we have. I think she will die in the last book. Why? Because we already grieved her once. It just makes sense. We've already grieved her once after Fires of Heaven. Now she all of a sudden comes back at the very end of Towers of Midnight. She is bound to die once again. Okay? She's just bound to. Why else would she come back? She just has some sort of moment that she plays a really large part in the last battle, and I believe that is going to be her true ending. Okay? I just have a feeling. Moiraine, I really love Moiraine. Love her character arc. She's one of my favorites. I wish we could have seen her in a majority of the series, but we didn't. Okay? Next, we have Min. Okay? I think she needs to die. She stays by Rand's side too often to not be put in mortal danger at all times. Yes, I think Min is going to perish. Okay? Also, a lot of foreshadowing on what will happen to the Bond if one of the four of them dies. Okay? So I really have a feeling that at least one of those girls is going to die. If not all three, to be quite honest. But I definitely think it's going to be Min, considering the amount of time she spends by Rand's side. I think it's going to be Min that, dies, that passes away, shall you say. Also, like I said, in those visions of the future that Avienda has that we will get to later, I don't see any descendants of Min and the Dragon Reborn. So that's something to keep in mind. Unless she just chose not to have kids. That's fine too. Or couldn't have kids, obviously. Also, Rand's new #positivity needs to be tested. Can it be broken? With her death, make him snap or fight harder to preserve the future, since Min cared. Since Min cared about him surviving, will that thought push him through if Min dies? I want to see his #positivity tested. Okay? And I think the only way for that to happen is for a death to occur to one of these little ladies. Okay? Next, we have Elaine. Alright? I hope and pray she isn't the one to die, but I have a feeling she might. Like I said, I have a feeling all three of the girlies might. I have a feeling, to test him. Also, if she dies, what will happen to Brigitte if she does? Again, she took Brigitte out of Talan Riod, so if her water bond with Elaine is gone, does that mean her existence in this world itself is gone? And if so, where does she go? Because this time she wasn't spit out by the wheel again. She was grabbed from the Land of Dreams into this realm, this universe. So, what's going to be the answer to that? I don't know. What happens to her kids? They will be born, but will both survive? Debatable. And, like I said, those visions of the future. I remember only seeing a girl. One descendant. One. So, what does that mean? Does that mean that one of them dies? She's been so confident with Min's viewing that they will be born okay that she's so focused on that and nothing else. So, I have a feeling one of them's gonna die. Will she die for Andor or Rand or maybe for the kids? Don't know. Maybe she won't die, but Morghese will sacrifice herself for Elaine and the kids and Andor. That one is pretty possible considering Morghese's arc in this entire series. And let me tell you, Morghese has been a treat to me in this book series, and I'm kind of sad that I've heard that she's not going to be represented in the TV show. But whatever. Okay? And that's what I think about Elaine's character. Next, we have Avienda. We're finally getting to Avienda, okay? Her visions of the future were sad to see. I feel like because we're shown that, it won't happen. So because we're shown the degradation of the Aiel people, I really have a feeling it's not going to happen. If they were going to show us this and kind of just, like, lay out the point of the, like, what's going to happen after the end of the book, then what's the point in finishing the series at all? So I have a feeling that it's not going to happen that way. Maybe Avienda will be the one to die to save the legacy of the Aiel, since her descendants were the people that ruined the Aiel. She has descendants, but she's not pregnant yet. Maybe she'll get pregnant, you know. Maybe she'll finally put a wedding wreath at Rand's feet, and maybe she'll get pregnant then, and then she'll die after having her babies. But I just don't think that Avienda is going to allow the Aiel to have their fate become what it does. If you've read the books, you know what I'm talking about, because it was truly fucking heartbreaking. So I think that, along with the other couple things having to do with Tuon and the Shan, will kind of play a big part into making sure that this doesn't happen. Alright, moving on to the Aiel, I really don't believe they will succumb, like I said, to the visions Avienda saw in Rhuidean. I think the rogue Aiel will realize that they need to fight in the last battle to fulfill their Aiel toe. Okay? If you go to Rhuidean, you know that the Aiel have toe towards, people, whatever, towards, you know, towards the Aes Sedai especially, but, you know, towards themselves, honestly, because they were, you know, the original people of the Leaf, and then they took up the sword and defended their families. It's their toe. And I believe that the rogue Aiel will believe that, well, will see that fighting in the last battle and the toe that they have to themselves, and they'll end up coming, and I think that will be a game changer, okay? I don't know how, but I think it will be. Who will the Aiel become if it doesn't follow that path of the future? I don't know. I'm interested to see. Next, we have the Shan. I want them to go back. They are a large factor in the future of the Aiel. Maybe it has to do with their thoughts on channelers. If Tuon survives, maybe that will be the key to saving the future of the Aiel. I truly believe that saving Tuon will save the future of the Aiel. I believe if they keep Tuon alive and free of assassinations, she is going to be the key in working together between the Aiel, the Shan, letting the wise women go that they have chained and collared right now. And I really think that will be a game changer for the future visions that Avienda saw in Rhuidean. Alright? Alright? And lastly, last but not least, I have the White Cloaks. I hope they all die in the last battle. They have sucked the entire time until Towers of Midnight with Perrin and Gawad, okay? Gawad just needs to die. IMO. He just needs to. He's too self-righteous. I believe that he, you know, is too black and white. And that just bothers me. And that's a part of his character. You know, they talk about it often in the books. But I think it's going to come with him making a morally gray decision at the very end of the books, and all of the White Cloaks are going to succumb to that decision. But at the end of the day, it will save the last battle. So, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm so glad you had the endurance to sit through this video. For all of my predictions for what is going to happen in A Memory of Light, I know I don't have time to include a bunch of characters in here. Gawain, boring. Tom, love you. But do I think you're gonna die with Moiraine? Yeah, probably. Okay. Besides that, Over, oh, what a witty little kid. Okay, what a witty child. Love Over. He better survive, and maybe we'll get an epilogue from his perspective as an adult, you know, post last battle. Okay? That's all that I have to say. I'm excited to finish off the series, but very, very sad and depressed at the same time. But it's been a long time coming. I'll give you a vlog. Okay? It's gonna happen. My name is Caitlin J. Reeds. Hope you have a great day. I will see you when I see you. Alright, goodbye.